Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's video is a review of what I'm going to be reviewing for January of 2025. So a couple weeks ago I did a shoegaze slash dream pop slash indie pop or indie focus week, and I really enjoyed choosing random 20 or so albums and sort of focusing in on a genre. So I wanted to do that again. I'll probably do that a couple more times and sort of introduce the more, I guess, other parts of my record slash CD collection, and my introduce other styles of music that I like as we go. And then sort of get back into every genre now and then. But I'd like to, kind of get to the point in the next couple of months of sort of also getting into some of the dub and reggae stuff that I have. Maybe, start introducing some 90s music in there as well. But for the most part, it's going to be 60s, 70s, and mostly 70s and 80s music, in the genres I grew up with. But as we go, I'm going to start introducing some other genres that I've gotten to still in the 80s and 90s I started to get into, but kind of wanted to do a focus week or focus month coming up on the genres of ambient music. And there's a lot of different styles under ambient music that I've chosen here. Everything from new age to there's a little bit of classical, there's experimental, there's jazz fusion, there's a little bit of prog rock in here, some traditional ambience, some all kinds of different stuff. And hopefully you'll enjoy me doing those reviews, and because I'd like to kind of expand upon what I'm doing, and I really want to touch on all the genres that I love and all the different styles of music that I like. If you'll notice, my channel is called Electric Cafe, so there's always going to be more and more electronic music as we go. But yeah, kind of going into some of the albums that I'm going to be reviewing. I chose 30 albums, so one a day for the next for the month of January. First is Patrick O'Hearn's 1985 album, Ancient Dreams. Patrick O'Hearn was from Missing Persons. He was their keyboardist, and he went solo around this time and started making some new age music. And I believe this is one of his first, if not his first. Also, the first time on the channel, it'll be Penguin Cafe. This is their 1987 reissue of their 1976 debut album, music from the Penguin Cafe. Brian Eno produced this. This was on his avant-garde label Obscure 7, and then was reissued on EG Editions with Brian Eno's label. Brian Eno produced this originally in 1976, the year I was born. So Simon Jeffries, unfortunately he passed away in 1997, but I have his first 4 or 5 albums under Penguin Cafe, so this will be the first of reviewing his album. Also, I'll be reviewing J.L. Busey, his 1978 album Sunflower. This is kind of a mix of jazz fusion, really interesting album. I've always liked this album. Got this in like 2002, I think. So I'll be reviewing that. I'll also be reviewing Keith Jarrett's Ardor Zena. I think that's from 1976, right? On ECM Records. The amazing ECM Records. So I'll be reviewing that also. I'm also going to be reviewing John Hazel's Dream Theory in Malaysia, right? Or Malaya. So I'll be reviewing that as well. Also, Wendy and Carl's Antarctica. So I'll be reviewing that too. That was on the Darla Records. This is probably late. This is actually probably in the 90s. Might be as late as 2002, but somewhere around in the 93 to I think it's around 93, 94, 97 if I'm not mistaken. But Antarctica, so that'll be a good review. Also be reviewing Patrick Bernhardt's his album called Atlantis, Atlantis Angelus from 1990, kind of New Age album. Be reviewing that. Also, Konrad Schnitzel's Ballet Strategique. I think this is from 78 or so, roughly. Also, Iosis. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not very good. It's Greek. His second album, Angelic Music. Jeez, excuse me. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year, in 2024. Definitely one of the pioneers of New Age music. Really strong. I love sleeping news music. It's really very, gets you in a deep sleep for sure. I really enjoy listening to music. Also, Michael Stern's 1988 album called Encounter. I'll be reviewing that as well. Love Michael Stern's music. Also, Manuel Goching's E2, E4, which is a classic, very inspirational. Has definitely inspired a lot of people, this particular album. Maybe a avant-garde kind of unique one. Not too many people know about this, but Wave Stars album called Moonwind, or it's always forget it's Moonwind, and the album name is so Wave Stars, the name of the band. Yeah, this is the only album I've ever heard by him. I thought I'd include it. It's kind of a little bit prog rock / ambient. It was on the Audion label, which had like Larry Fast and other people on it. So that'll be being reviewing that. Also, I don't have it here, but I'll be reviewing Synergy's Chords album. Larry Fast. That's one of his, I think from roughly like 1980 or so. Larry Fast. And then also I don't have it here, but I'll be reviewing Gong's album called You, which was from 1974. Also be reviewing Gary Hughes's Ancient Evenings. Mark Isham's Vapor Drawings. Also be reviewing that. David Borden's from Mother's Mallard, if you guys know them. Music for amplified keyboard instruments. Very cool, minimal. 1981 came out. Back to 1968. Andrew Rudin's Tragedy, I think it's pronounced. It's kind of an experimental classical album. I bought this just randomly because of the artwork 25 years ago or so. Be reviewing that. Also be reviewing this Japanese classic by Danzingden. Can't pronounce that one. Puiden. It's called Inyomenland. So this is kind of a remastered version of it. I think it came out in 1983, the original version. My love of Japanese New Age music is high. Roger Eno's album, Voices. Also review Michael Penn's Crystal Rainbows. These will be quicker reviews too. I'm not going to get too in depth. They'll be like 3-4 minute reviews. I don't want to get crazy in depth with these. These are what they are, very minimal, and just like to give them a rating and just kind of review them. I'm going to be listening to these anyway, so I might as well rate them. So I'm just this is Emerald Webb's Valley of the Birds. I think this was their second or third album. This is the reissue that just came out. So, New Age music. I think it's Carl Wettenginter and Walter Whitney, Dreaming in Colors. So I'll be reviewing that as well. Tangerine Dreams, Phaedra from 1974, it's a classic. Also, first time on the channel, Harold Budd, Lovely Thunder. Also reviewing Tomida's The Bermuda Triangle. Will be first time on the channel. Some New Age music. Also, the great Steve Roach, his what some people consider his opus, Structures of Silence from 1984, 30 years ago. Wow. This was, I think this was his 30th anniversary vinyl, but this version came out. Also reviewing Arthur Russell's, the great Arthur Russell, his World Echo album. Also reviewing. This is kind of a unique album from a couple of Italian producers. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's Italo disco or anything like that. It's kind of Italo kind of soundtrack music. Kind of classical, a little bit of sort of jazz fusion. It's called Desert. And then lastly, I'll be reviewing Tonto's Head Expanding Band. This is their 1971 it originally came out. This is a 75 reissue. Robert Mangolef and Malcolm Cecil. I think this was a keyboard that they put together that was popular for being on Stevie Wonder's, some of Stevie Wonder's records. They decided to do this sort of experimental album on it, and yeah, so that Herbie Mann's executive producer on here. So a little bit of jazz fusion, a little bit of electronic music on here. But yeah, so those will be my next 30 albums I'll be reviewing in the month of January. So hopefully you'll be along for the ride, and see some of my reviews on some jazz albums, some jazz fusion, some new age albums, some ambient, experimental, kraut rock, prog rock, all kinds of albums. Decided to choose one for almost every sort of subgenre in those, and those will be the ones I'll be reviewing for next month. So hopefully you'll be along for the ride and check out those reviews. All right, thanks so much.